This is a comprehensive guide for farming airdrops in the Cosmos ecosystem in 2024. Cosmos is the most promising ecosystem to farm airdrops this year, and people who listened to some of my strategies that I outlined in my previous video would have already qualified for some of these. And truthfully, I think there's a lot more to come. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that you can do to set yourself up for these airdrops. As a reminder though, nothing in this video is a financial advice, and you should still make sure you do your own research, always. Now let's get into it. To start, let's go a bit more into depth on what exactly Cosmos is, and why would you be getting airdrops in the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos, if you're not familiar with it at all, is a network of a separate layer 1 blockchains. And you can see a picture of them here. They're all connected through something known as the IBC. And there's just dozens and dozens of these blockchains. And each of these chains has their own native network token. And the reason why there's so many opportunities for airdrops in the Cosmos ecosystem is that as more networks come online, and likely there will be dozens and dozens of new networks coming online, they need some way to distribute the initial allocation of their tokens. And usually, some of those tokens will go to insiders, but some of them, well, they'll want to give that to the community. They want to build up the community, like every other crypto project. But who do they choose to give them to? Typically, they choose to give that to people who interact with or stake in these other Cosmos layer 1s, right? And you can think about why, right? If, for example, someone is staking Atom in the Cosmos hub, and then you launch a chain that is supplementary or connected to the Cosmos hub, then those people would naturally be good first users for your chain. And there are already people who have a proven history of staking tokens. And that's what you ultimately want if you're distributing tokens. You want people that are going to stake them, right? And this strategy has played out pretty well in the past. There was a network known as Dimension that announced an airdrop like, let's say, a month ago. This is known as the home of the roll-apps. Basically, it makes it easy to deploy custom app chains that are also roll-ups, and they gave an airdrop to people who were staking Atom, people who were staking Osmosis, and people who were staking Celestia. So in this video, I'll tell you some of these networks in which you can stake to qualify for airdrops that are to come. The networks that I think have the most potential for airdrops are Celestia. Then we go to Injective. And the last one is Kujira. So we're not going to go into more detail, but if you know nothing else, the crux of this is going to be staking. The main strategy is to stake network tokens for all of these different networks. And I think that's going to reward you pretty well. So, Dimension already happened. They gave an airdrop to people who stake the Cosmos hub Atom, people who stake Osmo, and people who stake Celestia. But there was another announcement from Saga, as you can see. So Genesis drop. Saga is another highly anticipated Web3 protocol that's in the Cosmos ecosystem, and there's a lot of speculation that it's gonna be people who are staking TIA or other Cosmos tokens. Like, yeah, it's said like TBD, but it's likely that we're like maybe a week, and let's say that's in May, that we already be getting 2 airdrops. So this is time sensitive. Don't miss out on future ones. I mentioned this website airdrops.one in my previous video, so yeah, just remember this one. Alright, so what do you want to do if you want to set yourself up for these? First thing you're going to want to do is to stake Atom for the Cosmos hub. This is the OG and the largest Cosmos network, layer 1. You can see the span. For example, if I just compare it to Dimension, you see the largest one. And there's a lot of confusion, honestly. People think that Cosmos Hub is the same thing as Cosmos. It's not. It's closely related, but it's not exactly the same as Cosmos. But you're going to want to get Atom, and you're going to want to stake it. And for most of the things we talk about today, you're going to stake it through the Kepler wallet. This is just like your any other wallet. I'm not going to go through the exact details of how to stake these, how to set it up. Just do your own research. It's the same, like, I don't know, if you use MetaMask or something like that, it works the same. But basically, you're going to go to wallet, you're going to stake your Atom tokens there, and when you do that, keep in mind, you can't unstake them for 21 days. But once those are staked, then likely you will start receiving airdrops from some of these other networks that launch tokens. And the thing you have to keep in mind as well is you're probably not going to get one right away, right? You could, but you might stake for a bit, and then suddenly a month later you get one. Okay, 2 months later you get one. So this strategy requires some patience, all right? Don't go and expect miracles to happen. But the good news is that you don't actually have to do anything besides just holding your assets. One question that I do get a lot, how much I should put into this? Well, if you can look like what people needed to do to get Dimension, they had to stake at least 1 atom, or at least 10 Osmo. Although, of course, if they staked more, they got more tokens, right? But I think that's a pretty much good guideline for how much to stake if you want to qualify. Next thing I would focus on staking would be Celestia. And I'm saying this second. I actually think Celestia is probably the highest potential airdrop ecosystem. I would say in terms of where I'm allocating my capital, I'm allocating most of my funds. It goes heavily towards staking Celestia. And the reason for this is that what Celestia does, it allows new networks to launch and use Celestia for data availability, all right? And they have a huge ecosystem lined up. If you go and check out this ecosystem, it's huge. You can just look at some of these projects, right? They're already launching in the Celestia ecosystem, and they'll either be partnered with them in some way, or they'll be just utilizing their technology. And I think that there's a good chance that a lot of these, look, you can see Saga here. There's Dimension, as you can see, it already happened. So a lot of these are going to airdrop to TIA stakers if they launch a token. So we already confirmed that one of these tokens, one of these protocols are airdropping to Celestia stakers. I think there's a good chance that others do as well. So definitely want to stake TIA, and you're going to do that through the same Kepler wallet. So the good news is that you only need to go to one place to qualify for both of these. And then, in addition to regular staking, what I'm also doing is staking some of my TIA through Milky Way zone. And now, no, I would consider this to be riskier than just taking Celestia because now you're interacting with a third-party protocol. However, Milky Way is a liquid staking protocol for TIA, and they also don't have a token, just like Jito was for Solana, like the main liquid staking provider. And yeah, you remember what Jito did recently. So there is no guarantee that staking TIA through liquid staking qualifies you for airdrops the same way as staking TIA through the actual staking dashboard. However, I think there's a decent chance that if Milky Way does an airdrop, that you would qualify for this. And it's all speculation whether they do an airdrop, but it's a speculation that you kind of have to make if you're going to try to airdrop farm, right? So I'm going to be also staking my TIA tokens through Milky Way. This was the opportunity number 2. The last thing I'm going to be wanting to stake is going to be Osmosis. Osmo tokens. Osmosis is the largest liquidity hub and DEX in the Cosmos ecosystem. So, for example, if you want to swap between Atom and TIA, or Atom and Osmo, or Osmo and TIA, or Atom and ING, basically any of these tokens we talk about, you would probably do so through the osmosis.zone. And because of this, a lot of protocols are also airdropping to Osmo stakers. Remember, the Dimension, they are airdropped to Osmo stakers as well. And so this is going to work very similarly. You'll just have to acquire some Osmo tokens, and then you can stake through the same Kepler wallet. So it's all in one place. You don't have to scour the internet much. What I do recommend, to acquire the Osmo tokens, the easiest way to do that is just going to be to convert some Atom to them. And yeah, you do it here. So those 3 right there, they would have qualified you for Dimension 3 times over. So what do we have to do now? We have to prepare ourselves for another Dimension. We have to prepare ourselves for another Jito, right? And that's kind of speculation that you gotta make, but be sure to do more research. I think this is pretty solid. So yeah, wish you good luck, and I'll catch you in the next one.